Hey guys, Skis here, back with another Bitcoin video. So it's been a while since we talked about Bitcoin, but especially after what happened a few days ago when Bitcoin fell down to 91K, the altcoins really got destroyed. I mean, a lot of coins were down like 30 to 50%. It was really crazy. It was one of the craziest sell-offs I've seen in altcoins ever. But the crazy thing is, for Bitcoin, it wasn't even really that big of a sell off. All it did was put us back down to the bottom of the range that we've actually been in this range now for kind of a while. If we take it from this candle when we enter to today, around 79 days, so over 2 months. But even though Bitcoin only fell to the bottom of it, altcoins got absolutely destroyed. So I wanted to make a video about Bitcoin because I still think Bitcoin's gonna it's gonna have another leg up, and I think it's going to go towards 120K. I think it can surpass it, but my target right now is 120. And I still think we're getting alt season. Alt season is the last thing that happens in the cycle. So that's why it's kind of taking forever, because it's the last thing. And it is kind of annoying, like, especially because 4 years ago, alt season was kind of about to happen right now. But this cycle is playing out a little bit differently. I think that the economic factors are different. And I mean, in terms of QE versus QT, we're still in QT. And I don't really know when they're going to pivot towards QE, which is quantitative easing. But I really think we do need the macro conditions to be a little bit more favorable, especially because I mean, that's how it was during the last run. We were in quantitative easing. There's just more money to be thrown around, and we kind of need that right now. So I still think we'll get the leg up, but we'll have to wait for Bitcoin to do it. But I wanted to talk about a similarity between right now and actually almost exactly a year ago, which is, so we have this range right here. And you can see that this wick, which took us to 109K, this actually came on Trump's inauguration. So this was the Trump inauguration wick. It took us to the Bitcoin's all-time high ever so far at 109K. And apart from that, we've basically just been in this range for around, the bottom of it's around 91K and the top of it's at around 106K. So just kind of going sideways, and it's kind of annoying that we're going sideways because we just left a sideways period. I mean, this period right here, basically us ranging, it was a little bit, it wasn't like completely sideways. It was, slightly down, I'd say, but it was basically just ranging. And this range was a lot longer than 79 days. I mean, it was around 252 days. So we came off of this range, had only a few days where we actually made a nice move up. Around 13 days. I mean, we didn't know what was going to play out, so we kind of went up for around 41 days, but now that we have more data, we basically entered the range in around 13 days. So the move that took us into the range only lasted about 2 weeks. And before we ranged this time, we ranged from March until November of last year. But before that range, what did we do? Well, we ranged again. And Bitcoin it does this thing where it ranges and you don't know how long it's going to range for. I mean, this range right here, let's see how long it was. It was about 64 days. So this one was a little bit shorter than what we're in right now. But this is the range that I want to compare now to. This was also around a year ago. We came to this range at the beginning of December and we left it at the beginning of February. And what we did this time, this was during the ETF. So this wick right here was when ETFs launched. And it kind of faked everyone out, right? Like we had this deviation above the range, came all the way back down. Then we had a fake out towards the bottom. So we kind of faked out both directions, and then we came back up, went sideways for a little bit, and then we made our next move up to the next range that we talked about. That was 252 days. So what's interesting about this range is that I remember when we were down here, when we got this green candle that took us back into the range, and it was a pretty strong candle. I mean, it was only 4.7%, but it basically just reversed this, right? Like we came down, went sideways a bit, and then we came right back up. And I kind of knew that we were going to make a move up at that point because it was kind of a similar pattern to this right here, where this was in 2022, 2023. We came down, went sideways, and then we had like a strong reaction back up, and then we ended up going up. So that's why I thought we were going to make a move up after that happened. But basically we faked down. And where do we fake down to? We faked down to 38K, which was not coincidentally the top of this range that Bitcoin was in during the beginning of October, or end of October and beginning of November. And you can see we couldn't actually get above. You can see how many times we wicked to it back then. I mean, a lot of days where we tried to getting above it, but we couldn't. And then we finally got above it. And then we came back down just to retest it. And then we went back up. And so if you take it back to where we are now, I think there's a chance that Bitcoin fakes out. People think that it's over and everything. I mean, it's not over, but people think it is. And I think that the pocket that would be tested again would be the 80s right here, this pocket right here, maybe like the bottom of it, so around 85 to 86K. Come down, it fakes everyone out, and then we come back in, and then, we can grind a little bit longer, and then we can leave. I don't know if it's going to play out like that. I'm just curious, and I think that there is a chance that it does do that because there's definitely, we didn't spend many days in the 80s. We kind of just went from 70 to 90. We had a few days here, but there's definitely liquidity down there, and Bitcoin definitely likes to hunt for liquidity before making a move. And it would actually, we've already played that pattern out. We just saw. So that's what I'm looking for. And I think that if Bitcoin did do something like this, altcoins would probably get another move down because, even when we made this move down, altcoins were getting kind of heavy. But I think altcoins would probably have a move down, and then it would bounce back up. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what I'm looking out for. And real quick, because this video is already getting kind of long, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at around 49. So that's crazy because we're at 97K right now and it's at 49, but it's definitely reset. I think a lot of the sentiment's reset, especially after what happened a few days ago. And actually a few days ago, we wicked down to 44 on the Fear and Greed Index. So I think that's still neutral. I don't know when fear sets in. I think fear is like in the 30s. So I don't think we're going to, if we get to the fear and we're in the 90s, that would be like really crazy. So, but yeah, we're at 49. So it's actually reset a lot, which is really good. And one more thing, because I think this does have an effect on Bitcoin and everything, and especially alt season and QE and QT. I think that we got to take a look at the interest rates. The last meeting was a few weeks ago, and they did not cut. They stayed the same, and it's saying the next meeting, which is on March 19th. Right now, I mean, these numbers do change the closer you get. We're kind of far off from it right now, but it's looking like we're not going to do anything again. We're going to stay the same, no cuts. We'll see how it goes. I think one way I think we get alt season, I do think, is actually if the markets tank, it kind of forces the Federal Reserve to pivot towards QE, and then because we got the QE, then we can make a really big move up. And it's kind of like weird because in order to go up, maybe we actually need to go down first. And so I don't know if that's going to happen either, but those are kind of the things I'm looking out for right now, especially with Bitcoin because it's leading the market. Oh, we got to quickly take a look at dominance. I almost forgot. So dominance, I'm going to flip to the weekly. Dominance is just kind of unstoppable, and it's kind of been unstoppable since 2022. And I don't know how much higher dominance is going to go, because I actually, for a long time, I think in my previous videos, I was saying around 60 to 61 because it was around this area right here, which is actually where we are right now. But we actually wicked to 64 the day when we crashed and everything. And it kind of looks like Bitcoin dominance is going to keep shooting up. Maybe we even make it to 70. I have no idea how high dominance it's going to go. But the thing is, Bitcoin dominance means that Bitcoin is sucking up the liquidity and altcoins are not going to be outperforming Bitcoin. So alt season will not happen in this uptrend. The only way we get alt season is if we get something like this. It needs to be a massive down movement. This is alt season. This was alt season last cycle. So until we get something like this, I don't know how high it's going to be. That this is alt season. So we got to Bitcoin dominance kind of telling us right now that alt season might still be on hold. We will get it eventually. At some point, dominance will turn. I think there's still a chance it's in this quarter. I really think it's this year, but I still think there's a chance that it's in this quarter. But there's a lot of other factors, and it's kind of annoying because 4 years ago, it would have been on right now. Like, alt season would have been starting right now. But, every cycle is different, but it's different, but it's the same. So I think I know for a fact we will get alt season at some point. I truly believe that. But right now, even dominance is kind of telling us that it's still kind of the Bitcoin show. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer, it looks like. Anyways, guys, this video is getting kind of long. I'm going to make a video on altcoins. Like, I'll make my ADA and Veracity videos soon because we got to talk about both of them, actually, especially after what happened a few days ago with the sell-offs. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.